We're here on Kulin land. We acknowledge the Wurundjeri and Boon Wurrung peoples and all of the clans of the Kulin Nation, sovereignty never ceded. The Ebony Institute has been working for the last 3 years to bring this work together, and we're very glad and very humble that you could come and join us today to share our work and share where we think truth-telling and treaty should go in this country based on the evidence.
And I also want to acknowledge all ancestors of this great nation and of course our neighbouring islands. Each of us have our own belonging. For us, it's these leaves that come from the manigum. Take a leaf and then pass it on. It means accepting this gift that you are welcome to everything from the tops of these amazing trees and of course to the roots of the earth.
We are an institute that's concerned with the best interests of Australia from an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander perspective. Because for too long, those two things have been considered differently. Apparently, there's an official version of Australian history, and then there's sort of merely the Aboriginal version of history. And that is rubbish. Our people have been talking about the truth and declaring sovereignty for quite a long time. After the truth is told, there's got to be some thinking about what justice looks like. Do Aboriginal peoples just want to spill our guts again if nothing changes? It's 30 years since the Royal Commission into deaths in custody and nothing really substantive has changed. We still have a police brutality epidemic that no ministers are willing to deal with. Our children are not suiciding just because they're innately sick. They are suiciding because there's police harassment daily. They're suiciding because the triage nurse can't say the word Aboriginal. They're suiciding because school curricula, they still can't see themselves in it.
When Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history and really the truth about colonisation is what we're talking about, when that was taught properly, young people felt empowered, they felt valued. This is really talking about inheritance. They're responsible for continuing the longest culture and history in the world while going through an education system that actively tries to suppress that.
Our inheritance is huge. It's not just culture as in that you can see it. It's having a particular mind frame that has stood us in good stead against the most enormous, overwhelming force, dominating force that comes against us.
Can a modern democracy survive and foster and grow without the truth?
As we know, all around our country, the main pillar to treaties is truth-telling. Without that, we have nothing.
Truth-telling has been such an important part of treaty making. One of the important questions that we need to ask, why treaties are needed. One of the reasons is because we know that better things happen to our mob when we're in control of the decisions that affect our daily lives. But a second reason is that there's unfinished business in this country.
So the so what is important. It's not just simply a matter of telling the truth. We have to actually think about what justice looks like.
I would say that truth-telling is necessary but not sufficient.
The facts alone are not going to matter. It's the feelings that go with it and the emotional journey and the healing for both the victims and the perpetrators and their families. So healing is not just for blackfellas. We need whitefellas to know who they are and where they come from. And actually that's what our elders are saying. They want non-Aboriginal people to be able to make peace with the land too.
This is the graciousness of our people that we want to extend to the wider community, the 97%, about finally listening to our truths, finally hearing us, and finally giving us voice.
Indigenous.